The early spring sun spilled gold across Manhattan's West End Avenue, illuminating the polished chrome of a Bentley parked in front of a prestigious rehabilitation center. Inside the Bentley sat a woman dressed in black slacks and a pearl-white blouse, but her clothes, makeup, and diamonds couldn't mask the exhaustion written into the lines of her face. Her name was Rebecca Carrington, CEO of Carrington Tech, mother to a 6-year-old daughter who hadn't walked since birth. "Mrs. Carrington," said the rehab center's director, gently approaching the open window, "I'm afraid there's still been no progress. Lily continues to resist physical therapy. She's scared, and we're doing everything we can." Rebecca nodded stiffly, her lips tightening to prevent them from trembling. She'd heard it all before. Every expert, every specialist, every therapist she had flown in from across the world had left her with the same sterile words and defeated expressions. But today, something inside her cracked. She stepped out of the car, walked to the back seat, and opened the door. There sat Lily, her legs limp under a cozy blanket, her wide blue eyes staring silently at the world. The little girl gripped her stuffed bunny tighter as Rebecca reached out. "Let's go somewhere else today," Rebecca whispered. "Let's try something different." She didn't know where she was going, only that she drove for hours, leaving behind the steel and glass towers of New York. Her GPS blinked aimlessly as she passed small towns, rusted gas stations, and farms stretching under the warming sky. Just outside the tiny town of Millridge, the Bentley shuddered violently. Rebecca barely steered it into a gravel pull-off before the engine coughed and died. She cursed under her breath and got out, slamming the door behind her. From across the street, a young man in a grease-stained t-shirt and denim overalls looked up from under the hood of a dusty pickup truck. He wiped his hands on a rag and approached. "Need a hand?" he asked. Rebecca looked him over, oil on his cheeks, calloused hands, and a kindness in his eyes she hadn't seen in months. "I think the engine's gone," she said, frustrated. "Mind if I take a look?" he said. With nothing left to lose, she stepped aside. In minutes, he had the Bentley's hood up and was deep into diagnostics, moving with a careful precision that surprised her. Lily peeked out the window, watching him curiously. "Name's Jesse," he said over his shoulder. "You're far from the city." Rebecca gave a short nod. "I didn't plan on stopping." "Well, you stopped in the right place, I'd say," Jesse smiled gently. He worked quietly for an hour, occasionally explaining things to Rebecca, who stood there holding her daughter's wheelchair. Jesse spoke to Lily, too softly, like she wasn't broken, but like she was just another little girl. When he was done, Jesse wiped his hands and leaned down to Lily's level. "You ever help fix a car, little lady?" Lily didn't respond. Her eyes searched his face like she was trying to decide if he was dangerous. But there was something different in Jesse, something unpolished and real. "You can hold my wrench next time," he said. And for the first time in weeks, Lily gave the smallest smile. Rebecca learned Jesse was the town's only mechanic. He lived in a small cabin behind the shop, cared for his grandmother, and volunteered at the local youth shelter. Every kid in Millridge knew him as Mr. Fix-It. Something about the simplicity of it all made Rebecca want to cry. Not from sadness, but from a longing she couldn't name. Her car wouldn't be ready until tomorrow. Jesse offered to call her a tow or a ride, but when he looked at Lily and said, "You two are welcome to come inside," she found herself saying yes. Inside Jesse's modest home, Lily saw a well-loved guitar, a small bookshelf filled with fairy tales, and a painting of a girl running across a field, legs strong, arms flying. "Who's that?" Lily asked quietly. "That's my sister, Ava," Jesse said. "She used to run track. Got hit by a drunk driver. Took her a year to walk again. I helped her every day." Lily blinked. "She walks now?" "Yep," Jesse said, crouching down. "She sure does." Rebecca watched as something in Lily lit up. For the first time, her daughter was asking questions about healing, about strength, about hope. "Can I meet her?" Lily whispered. Jesse smiled. "She lives in town, but I think she'd love to meet you." Over the next few days, while Jesse worked on the Bentley, Lily began to visit his home. Not for therapy, but for play. Jesse gently introduced exercises disguised as games. Balancing pebbles, pushing a toy truck, moving a foot just enough to win a round of Simon Says. Rebecca, stunned at the change in her daughter, stayed silent, afraid a single word might shatter the fragile miracle unfolding before her. By the end of the week, Lily could stand trembling and crying, but standing, nonetheless. And then came the moment Rebecca would never forget. It was evening. A soft rain tapped against the window panes. Jesse knelt a few feet away, arms wide open. "You ready, superstar?" he said. Lily looked up at him, her lips quivering. "You can do this," Jesse whispered. One foot, then another. They were small steps. Wobbly, hesitant, but they were steps. Rebecca dropped to her knees as Lily fell into Jesse's arms, both of them laughing and crying. And Rebecca wept, not the quiet tears of hopeless nights, but the freeing sobs of a mother who had finally seen her daughter walk. She couldn't thank Jesse enough. She couldn't write a check big enough. When she tried, he shook his head. "I didn't do it for money," Jesse said. "I just believed she could." "But why?" she whispered. "Why care?" Jesse looked at Lily, then back at her. "Because someone once believed I could be more than just a poor mechanic." Rebecca didn't leave the next day, or the next week. She bought a house in Millridge, started a foundation. But more than anything, she became a mother again, not one driven by guilt or desperation, but one filled with awe at the power of human kindness. And Lily? She started to run.